Great. I am really excited today because we are doing one of the things that I absolutely love to do, and that's talk about applicant tracking systems and our ATS that we're using for our staffing business. I am really excited today because we are doing one of the things that my immaturity in using technology. And so I'm really excited about that. And for our staffing business, we use Creelate, Creelate, as the ATS that we use to run and scale our niche recruitments and staffing business. So today's class is all about making sure that your Creelate is set up properly and making sure that you are using it properly. I think we're together for like 2 hours, so we're about to dive in and just really get started. If this is your first time here or you're not familiar, my name is Dee Williams, Coach Dee Williams, Auditionaire, and I help professionals set up, launch, run, scale their very own niche recruitment and staffing business. And today we're talking about the technology in your staffing business and how you're managing your business as a owner and staying compliant. Number 2, and making sure that your team is utilizing the technology so that you can manage the performance that they are doing, so you can manage the activity. We're diving all in 100%, and let's get started. I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to open up. Let's see. I thought I had this one. Let's go right there. I thought I had let me show you. I did this little screen thing for you. Is it there? Ta-da! Okay. That's for when I go back and check my replay. Okay, great. And so now let's go into Creelate. So when you get your account, first of all, if you're looking for an account in Creelate, let me pull out in its own screen so we can have just a fresh screen share. You want to go to creelate.com/DEE. That's how you get the Dee Williams pricing. That's how you get the Dee Williams everything. That's how we know that you're doing a setup through our program. And that's how you're able to take advantage of the Dee Williams discount that's involved. So that takes you to Creelate. And when you get there, you're going to schedule your appointment and then you're good to go. Okay. And so now we're going to dive in as if you've already purchased Creelate. And as you can see, welcome back in. I asked for the username and password of one of my staffingpreneurs so I can utilize their account because their account is brand new. And I wanted you all to see a brand new account. But we're going to work with my account right now in this moment. And so we're dealing with some very interesting data. So y'all be easy. When you come into Creelate, there is a full panel, 4 panels. Most people bypass this. This is the most important part. The recruiting panel is where you're going to see all your job orders, all the companies that you're working for, specifically that you're recruiting for, are going to be here. And you'll be able to see how many candidates you have in the pipeline and where they are in the pipeline just by looking at the outside of your dashboard for your recruiting tab. On your sales dashboard, you're going to see all your people who are within your sales pipeline at the specific place that they're at. So you may have people coming in at the leads or that are leads. You may have people who are won. Here you can see we did one cold site visit, email reach out there. We won some closed some contracts, but we didn't have job orders yet. And then this one, we won a direct hire job order, right? So if you look at that, that's how ours looks. And these are basically your sales dashboard. Your next dashboard is your task and events. That's where you go in and you save all of the people that you're going to reach back out to. It's really your reminders. You want to make sure you take that very seriously. A lot of people use it and get out of it, but you want to put your reminders on. The fortune is in the follow-up. And then you have your intake. Your intake is where you receive resumes. One of the biggest questions that people have, or one of the things that they do the most or the least, they say, how do I get the jobs on my website? So that happens here on your intake. So I'm going to walk you through that and then we'll go backwards, but I want to answer that question. How do I get the jobs to show up on my website? So first you have your applicant tracking system. You're posting jobs within your applicant tracking system. And then when you get to a certain point, you're going to paste this code or have your developer put this code onto your website where it belongs. When it shows up on your website, an example would be, and I'll pull my website up. When you go to identifiesconsulting.com and then you go to the careers page, now it's showing up on your website. And then when a person applies and they go through the job description and they apply now, when they do that, it ends up right here in your intake. So as you can see, I have 1,400 resumes in my intake. That is not good. That means we are not recruiting fast enough or something, right? But that's where you have resumes in your inbox, okay? And so that's how you do that. Now, I want to go through some basics. Now that you've seen your dashboard, this is your home, and you see this is where you're going to be working from majorly. You're a new staffingpreneur, just getting your ATS set up, and I want to walk through some of the things that you are going to need to do before you can actually utilize it and run with it, okay? So first, if you put your mouse up in this top left-hand corner, we call this the hamburger menu. You're going to click your mouse over in the hamburger menu, and you're going to slide down to manage your profile and preferences, and you're going to click that. And the first thing you're going to do is fill out your user details. Put your first name, your last name, your initials, what time zone you're in, and then also the color that you want to associate yourself with within the applicant tracking system. That color is very important because when you are starting to do reports and you want to see who's doing what, that color is what kicks in. It identifies you as the person that you say you are, okay? So that's your purple, that's the picture color. Now you want to fill out your email signature. Your email signature is going to pop up whenever you send an email through Creelate, okay? So you don't ever have to put a signature in any of the templates that you have. All you have to do is write out your email signature. I like to put my first name, last name, my title, the company that I work for, my company's full address, the full address, their phone number, email address, web address. And then we have, you can schedule a phone screening or view our jobs. And if you're an employer, you can schedule a 15-minute consultation, or you can go to our request staff page. You can also follow us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. And that's what, and I want to actually make this a little bit smaller. I wish the font size right here. I want to make this one like super small because I don't want it to be, and maybe even tiny, just kind of like that. But I do want them to either view our jobs or to schedule a phone screening. So once you get done with that, you're going to save it at the top. I do want to tell you really quickly that one of the things that I absolutely love about Creelate, and it is the fact that they have these tips on the right-hand side for you to be able to always know what field is what you need to do in a specific field. So it tells you right here, even in the colors, display color, owners of records in Creelate are color coded. Select a unique color so you can quickly see which records you own at a glance. So every time you're doing something for every area, it's giving you instruction and or telling you what that field is meant for, so that you never have to worry about, oh, I don't understand how to use this. This doesn't make sense. This is confusing. It can't be confusing if they're telling you on the right-hand side exactly what it's for. So just read it, pay attention, and know that it's there to support you. Now, if you go down a little bit below the portal profile, if a job portal, it says here, and it's enabled in the porting settings, then this information will be displayed next to the jobs that you have posted to the job portal. Okay. And same thing with the client portal. If we have show recruiter, it's enabled on the job board on the client portal, then the phone number, image, and email address will be displayed. So I added a picture. This picture is from a couple of years ago. I look way better now. But I added my phone number, the company address, my job title. I don't say CEO when I'm recruiting. And then I could have did a short bio, and you can add that, and then you can hit save. But now your profile is set up within Creelate, which is very important. When you get Creelate, after you set it up, I would go in and actually add yourself and anybody who's going to be working on your team within the platform. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But this is not adding you to the platform. This this is saying this is who you are in the platform as the owner of the company. Okay, as the main person that's recruiting. But everybody who gets a LinkedIn, a Creelate account is going to fill this out because they're asking you who's owning this account. And right now, this is D. Williams. Okay, so now you want to set up, you want to connect your email address. Okay, you want to connect your email. In order for you to be able to send emails in and out of Creelate, you have to connect your email. If you're going through my program, we use Gmail as our Gmail. All you got to do is hit add a connection. It's going to start asking you what email do you want to connect here. I'm not going to connect one, and it'll connect it. And then it's going to ask you, do you want to share this email with everyone in the company, or do you not want to share it? So for example, my personal one is not shared. Nobody in the company can send an email out on my behalf, but the info is shared, you know, and so more than one person can send an email out on my behalf with that set up. So this is the second step. You want to set up your email connection so that you can start sending emails from within Creelate. Then you want to go into your notifications, and I'll leave this up to you. These are literally about preferences, how you want things to be in your system. You can read on the side what each preference is for to decide what your preferences are. I'll leave that up to you. Integrations are things you're going to integrate. We no longer have Career Builder, but as you can see, we were connected to it at some point. Your Ring Central account, you're going to use your Ring Central to connect to Creelate so that you and your staff can use Creelate accordingly, and everything will be recorded in one place. And then, of course, when we start setting up your Zaps, or you're setting up your own Zaps, you're going to connect those through Creelate in the back to automate your business as much as possible. You don't need to turn your API access on. Your API is basically, they call it an application programming interface, but it allows you to talk to other software. So all my healthcare staffingpreneurs that are utilizing Homebase, they're scheduling and they're setting that up to work with Creelate. This is how you're going to do that with your API key. And you're just going to tie both systems together. I'll regenerate a new key since I got this out this in the public, but that's how that goes. And then your security preferences, your user interface preferences, like the number of opportunities do you want to show in great people, number of opportunities. So this again is all about preferences. It's all about preferences, all about preferences. So all you got to do is to go in and to choose your preference. If you use our company to set up your backend, then we'll add a number of documents in there for you as templates that you can use to rewrite and make your own, but at least you'll have a starting point. We have some lead generation templates in there. We have interview request templates, sourcing templates, interview confirmation, just different templates that you'll use throughout the hiring process. They're already structured and written in a certain way. We will put those in the back end of Creelate for you when we set your Creelate platform up, and we will and all you have to do is go in and customize them to your company and put your usual on them. Your text message templates the same way. So if not, then you're going to go in and create templates for your text message. One thing I learned is, I tell you all to set up your Bitly account. You only get a few characters here for text messaging. This is a great place to use Bitly. I typically Bitly out in any job that I'm sending out, and I know that the person is going to ask to see what job are you talking about. Also, if I want them to schedule an appointment on my calendar, they may have two Bitly links in one text message. So using the text message feature is important, and being able to have templates readily available is also important. You just have to update your Bitly URL to make sure that your URL is shortened and it fits in the number of spaces that Creelate gives to you to send out text messages. Anytime you import anybody into Creelate, the record of the import is going to show up here. And this is new, so I haven't figured this, my emails. Oh, I guess this is a grid to display all the emails that you're sending out of the system. That's brand new, like literally that wasn't there a couple of days ago. So, so this is really cool. This is your personal settings. And that's the first thing that you want to set up within your Creelate account. So I'm going to stop for a second and I'm going to just open the lines and see, one, do y'all have any questions about anything you've learned so far? Is there anything I can answer for you? How can I support you in this moment? Or am I just that dope? I could be just that dope though. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hey, John, I'm gonna call you right back. I'm teaching a live class. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm just making sure I'm looking at my comments. Okay, perfect. If you're on YouTube, like this video. I hope that you find it to be extremely helpful. And definitely comment with your questions. Everybody in the class seems to be fully understand. I don't see any questions in the chat or anything. And I hope everyone has all of those fields filled out. If not, please go back and make sure you fill those fields out. It's imperative. Let's dive back in. Okay, now
I'm sorry, Dee. Can I ask a quick question about emails?
Yes.
Okay, so we're setting up the emails for our website that's linked to email addresses on the hosting platform.
Okay.
So, can we use those in Creelate, or do we have to use Gmail accounts, email accounts?
Those are so no. So you can, so okay, that's a great question. You asked a phenomenal question. So when you look at the email connections here, they give you a number of them. So you can use Microsoft 365 or Outlook. You can use Gmail. Gmail is not just Gmail, but it's Google Workspace. So these are Google Workspace emails, right? My company emails is the same ones we use on the website or what have you. You can use Exchange, and then they give you a other where you put your email address and password, and then you've got to go in and put the SMTP server, the URL and the port and all of that stuff so that they can have it run through. But who is your hosting, sir? Who's your hosting provider?
Well, we're going to use HostGator because we're already using them to host something else. We're thinking about going to Amazon because supposedly they have some free hosting for small businesses, but right now it's HostGator.
Okay, so that's cool. I don't know. I'm sure they're going to probably set you up to either connect with Google Workspace or to connect with Microsoft. That's ultimately what they're going to do, because they don't really, most of the hosting companies are not using a legacy email platform anymore. Even GoDaddy stopped that. Most of them have partnered with Google or with Microsoft, and they're going to, and if they have their own, you'll put it here, but most of them have partnered with Google and Microsoft, and that's who you're going to pay through their platform. I just tell my people to do it through Google Workspace, which is Gmail. Same thing, Google Workspace, Gmail. And that's the only reason I say that is because you're there all day long. When you're in, first of all, I should have started this out in this way. You can only use Creelate in real life in Google Chrome. And the reason is because it's a Chrome extension that connects with LinkedIn. So if you wanted to work with the Chrome extension with LinkedIn, then you've got to set it up and you've got to use Google Chrome. So if you're using Google Chrome, think about that. You're going to be in Chrome all day. You have your emails right here. You'll be able to get in and move quickly. You know, you've got your shared drives for your business. We go in all day long. I just log into my account. Then I go into my drive. I can see all my activity with my company, with my teams. And you know, we can go in and just like literally see everything, right? And go into different folders. Everything is pretty much ran out of G Suite. And I do have a personal Gmail, but as you can tell, all my Gmail email addresses are all my Google Workspace emails that, you know, so they are my business emails. So that's why I just tell everybody to use Google, because you're already in there all day. You're in and out of it all day. And you need to use in order to use the Chrome extensions properly for LinkedIn and for Creelate, you're going to be in Chrome. So just utilize it that way. But if your provider has a different type of email marketing system on the back end, then you can definitely, it'll support all of them. How do you feel about that?
Okay, that sounds good. I know they have a way for you to link the emails to like a Gmail or Yahoo account. So
Yeah. I don't
okay.
know about Yahoo, but Gmail definitely. And you know, for your business, you don't want to use your Gmail account, not your company name at Gmail. You use that more for social media. But the one you want to use to talk to candidates and clients is like your name at yourcompany.com, not info or
Yes,
anything
yes.
like that.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's where we set it up, but we haven't linked it to Gmail yet. So now we have to just make sure we have the equivalent Gmail accounts.
Yep, that's exactly
Okay.
the Google
Thank you.
Workspace. Yeah. So Google Workspace account, you mean, right? Not,
Okay, so I'll have to research Google Workspace a
but
little.
let me tell you, so let me show you the difference. Gmail, and let me pull out of here because I'm in my real Gmail. Let me Gmail is just that, your company name at gmail.com, right? But Google Workspace is the professional version of Gmail. It's the one that companies use for their businesses. Google Workspace, that's where you have your shared company drive. That's where you can do your name at yourcompany.name.com. Those are two different types of emails, and they're used for two totally different types of things. So the email address for your gmail.com, your company name at gmail.com, that email address is to create your social media accounts, to manage your analytics and stuff like that, all your Google Space, Workspace things. But you're not really utilizing that on, you don't want to put your most important stuff there. I did just show you my Gmail account. Look how many emails I have unread in there, 283,000. It's like everything. It's like, no, you don't want to, this is for something specific. But my email address that goes with my company, that I'm using with my Google Workspace, that's totally different. That's my personal company email address, and that's the one that I want to use to talk to candidates and clients. Now, on my website, I don't want my personal email on there, and I don't want my Gmail on there. That on my website, it needs to be like inquiry or info, because that's the email that's going out to the public. And so, like on this one, you see info at Staffingpreneurs Academy. If I go to Identifies Consulting, that's info. So I'm not using my Gmail. I'm using my Google Workspace, info at Identifies Consulting, So I hope that makes sense.
I got it. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was great. I'm going to use that in my training. I love that. Okay, so now that we've gone through at our personal settings, now we're going to go down to the settings section.
I had one question regarding like the phone setup that you were saying. So you have to use Ring Central?
You do not have to use Ring Central. So let's go over into integrations. Ring Central has a integration. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but they have a strong integration or a direct integration into Creelate. All you have to do is link your Ring Central account, and then the little ringer will come up, and you and your staff can dial. All the text messages will come up through there, but you'll also be able to see it in your regular Ring Central account. It's for you to have control over everything. But if you don't have Ring Central and you have another phone system, it's not going to connect to the account unless they have a Zapier connection, a Zapier integration. So let me step back a little bit. Zapier is a software to help you automate things in your business. And so you would have to find a phone system that operates through Zapier, Phone Burner, Open Phone, Phone.com, Superphone. I think they have Grasshopper, might be one of them. I don't know. But a phone system that has, and then that way you can try to integrate things from there. But here in my community, I just tell everyone to get your phone through Ring Central because it connects with Creelate, and then you have everything all in one place. And we want things to be functional in one place, and as much of our information stored in one place. Was that helpful?
Yes, it was. I have phones.com. So do you suggest that I just get Ring Central or just keep phones.com?
I'm going to let you define this. I don't want to share that with you. If I were you, I would go to Ring Central and switch my number over so that I could have everything in Creelate. But if the pricing's not right, or you feel good about your product and you don't want to do that, that's totally up to you.
Okay, that works. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's a great question. Yasir asked, would you recommend their resume library? So as far as I know, resume library is not a part of Creelate. They're two separate companies. Resume library used to be directly integrated into Creelate. It is no longer directly integrated. Oh, it is still integrated in some way, but they separated themselves. Now you have to go and create an account at Resume Library, where at first you didn't have to do that. So I think depending on the niche, it could be beneficial, but this is not where I would put all of my dollars. There are other places that Creelate has available where you can go in and boost your jobs or pay for jobs that are more viable. And it just depends on your niche, to be honest with you. It's like, where are your people at? If your people in a specific place, that's really where you want to go to get your resumes. You don't want to just, you can do one or two general, but you want to go where they are. Great questions. Okay, so now we're leaving personal settings. And we're going to go, and before I go to the bottom, I just want to go over the icons with you so that you know what you're working with these top icons. So we talked about the hamburger button at the top. Here you have the alert button, and this just gives you an alert of notifications and different reminders. Your fortune is in the follow-up. All of that is right there. Okay. Then you have your search bar. So here you can go in and search anything in the system. You can either type somebody's name in and you'll see they'll automatically come up. Or if you want a clean search, which is like how I like to do it, I search right here because I can see other things on the side, other filters. And when I see other filters, then I know, like, oh, okay, I know exactly what I'm looking to do or what I want to happen. So you can just go through, search through, and then just start writing things like CISSP. And then you can go in and see who has that in their system and pull their information up, and then start reaching out to them in whichever way you need to. So the search is one of your best friends. Search will allow you to see what your last saved searches were, your unsaved searches. It's a lot of cool stuff over here. We'll go through that later. Next is your home button. Your home button takes us to the dashboard, but they give you the option to click home, recruiting, sales, task, or intake. But it is literally, if you hit the home button, it's going to take you to the dashboard. Then you've got your great people, and in Creelate, we name our people great people because we feel like the people that we're supporting are amazing. They're great. So I've seen other staffingpreneurs change it to, whoever they have named their tribe, but we call most people great people. And this is all the great people you can see in the system, and you can filter them out by all, maybe candidates, sales contacts, employees, all of that. So that's where your great people are. Here are companies. Now, I want you to stay out of this tab from the perspective of, please don't add companies to the system. And I'm going to tell you why you don't have to add companies to the system. You don't have to add companies to the system because every time you add a person in the system and their company name is attached to their profile, Creelate is going to automatically create the company for you. So you don't have to go in and start putting companies into Creelate because you're really want to adding people. When you add people, the companies will automatically populate. And then from that point, you can go in and you can decide how you want to engage with those people. Okay. And then you can, but now the company side, I won't lie, there's a lot of cool things that you can do with the company side. If more than one person works there, you can see all the people that are working for that company. And believe it or not, some people you're interviewing you don't even know that it's other people in the database that are also working for that organization. That could be beneficial for you from a sales and or recruiting perspective. But as far as getting companies into the system, stay out of this tab. Get your companies in by putting people in that you actually want to have relationships with, that you want to start conversations with, and that you want to do business with. And then the company profiles will automatically show up into the system for you. Now, whenever you're creating a new job order, a new job opportunity, that's going to end up here in the briefcase section. We call them opportunities. To look at your reports, that is your chart here. To do campaigns, email campaigns, they're one-off email campaigns. Here, you're going to go to the front page. You're going to go here. We can talk about that in another class. And then your task and events, that icon is there. And now they have an email automation, which they're calling sequencing. And that icon is there. So get familiar with your icons so you're not scrambling all over the place trying to figure out how to utilize your ATS. This is a pretty decent ATS. It has a lot of functionality. And I just want to give you all updates on just, how to use the icons. Before we dive into the back end of things, we also have another icon here, and it really is the bullhorn, just tells you what's new. I expect each and every one of you, as soon as you see that thing pop up, to go in and see what's new. Why? Because the more you understand how to use your applicant tracking system, the easier it's going to be for you to achieve your goals financially, as well as your production goals. When you click on the next icon, which is the globe, all areas, this icon allows you to go and add additional icons to the left-hand side of the bar. I pretty much have all my icons over there. This is what's pinned at the top, but I could put great placements there, recruiting, sales, or intake if I wanted to. And if I wanted to, and just edit the navigation bar, I click that intake, which is right there. And then maybe I want to drag it up right above great people. And I actually want to grab my task and put them maybe above my home page or below my home, above great people, or maybe after great people, and then move my opportunities up. And, and then I want to see so you can change those around right there and hit save. And now your icons are structured totally different. We just rearranged the icons on there. How cool was that? Really, really, really awesome. Then below that, you're going to have the settings icon gear. We're going to be in there a whole lot in the next hour. So we'll talk about that in a second. If you want to close the menu bar or open it, there's a little arrow there to kind of open that menu bar up for you so that you can read what's next to the icons versus trying to figure out what the icon is for. LaTanya, that's for you. I saw you struggling earlier. And then the one thing I want y'all to see that this is so important, and this is the help button. And a lot of people are like, D, really? No, really, the help. And I'm going to tell y'all something really quickly. You can just send them a message and they really respond back very, very quickly. But if you don't want to send them a message and you are like me and you just want to get something really quick, you can literally go in and search their user guide. You can search for help and type in something, and they have a guide for almost everything. So let's say, for example, you want to do the e-signature, S-I-G-N. I think this is hello sign. I think they use hello sign. Hello. Let me go. S-I-G-N. There it is. And creating e-signature requests. You can go in. They're going to give you a whole video right here. Then they're giving you step-by-step instructions with screenshot and all. Most people don't even know that this exists because they never go over there, but you really don't have to reach out to anyone, because not only are they giving you screenshot step-by-step instruction, but it's a whole video at the top. Okay, now let me tell y'all, I build software technology. This is not an easy task. Okay, we still in Reskillify don't have our help section set up properly because this takes time, and I'm sure I just commend them for this. I would take advantage of this if I were you. If you need something answered immediately, you can send a message right there and they can help you. All you got to do is send a message, do a support question, put your question in, and then tell them you want to speak to a live agent right now, schedule a call, submit a ticket, or find your answer. So they respond rather quickly. All right. So now we've gone through the whole site. I saw a message here. Let me see this message. I don't have those last two icons. Okay, so Ebony, when you go back to the all areas section, what icons do you have in the general, under the general? Because all of these icons can be added to your sidebar. All you got to do is edit the navigation bar. You showed us right after. I was like, oh, okay. Okay, good. I'm on it. I'm thinking it through. I'm on it. If you're on YouTube and this has been valuable information, please heart this video or say like, put a like on there so that I know that you all find this to be valuable. For all my staffingpreneurs that came here live on my Zoom call, I'm doing this video for you. I want you all to master your applicant tracking system, okay? This is one of the most important parts of your staffing business. You understanding the technology. When you understand the technology, you'll be able to do so many things. You'll be able to move so much faster. You'll be able to find a strong level of efficiency in your business. You got questions, put them in the chat. You can open up your mic. If you're on YouTube, you can put your questions in the chat. I got you up on my phone so I can see your questions, and I'm here to support you. Now, are y'all ready to dive into the settings? We got to dance that out sometimes, right? Okay, so when you first come into the back end, into the settings of your Creelate, a lot of people don't start here, but it kind of tells you what to do immediately. Go invite your coworkers, add people into your Creelate account. That's really the first thing you want to do, is to add people into your Creelate account. So I'm actually going to come out of here because I want to follow the first instruction. I'm going to come out of here and I'm actually going to add myself to this account. So you're going to go to Great People to add a person, and you can hit new at the top, or you can go to the hamburger button and you can type and you can click the Great Person to add a new person. Okay, so those are two ways to add a new person. I'm going to repeat that really quickly. Okay, if I'm on the home page or any page of this platform, if I want to add a new person and I go to Great People and I go to the top and hit new, that's going to open up a form for me to add a person. If I go to the left-hand corner where the hamburger button is next to the bell and click on the Great Person, it is going to open up the same exact record for you to add yourself. Now, you can import yourself if you have a resume. If you're old school like me and have a V card, you can import that there. If you've written out or you've got your name or address, so like you might want to come here and then copy and paste everything on the bottom of here and paste it in. I'm going to do Staffingpreneurs Academy though. 1 second. Let's go to Staffingpreneurs Academy and let's go to the bottom of my page. And I'm just going to go in and I'm going to copy that. Then I'm going to go to Creelate and I'm going to paste it in there. So as you can see, it automatically started a record and put everything in there for me. Now, it is only as intelligent as you allow it to be. So we got to fix some things. So 1, am I active? I surely am. 2, am I a candidate? Am I a client? Am I a lead? Or am I an employee? Well, let's talk about that. A candidate, you already know, are the people that we're placing into jobs. A sales client or contact is someone that we have a signed contract with. It's a company that we have a signed contract with, okay? A lead contact are companies that we want to do business with. And then an employee is who's working in your company internally. So when I create my records, I typically make myself an employee, a sales contact, and a candidate, because I know I'm going to do internal jobs. I bill myself out for different projects and talent acquisition and so forth. And then I am also an employee of the company. So I went in and I've tagged myself there. These fields are for when you have a candidate. You don't have a candidate right now, so don't worry about that. I'm going to put my first name, my last name, and then my phone number. Now, when you see this phone number right here, you see this is my mobile number. You know that's not my mobile number. That's the office number. So you're going to want to press this plus sign, and you're going to want to say this is the work main number. And then I'm going to copy and paste that there. And then I'm going to take the minus sign and remove the mobile number. Okay, same thing with the email. This is not my personal email. I'm going to plus sign. I'm going to do work. I'm going to post it in there, and then I'm going to minus. Okay, and then this says this is my home address. This is not true. My home address is not that. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to say business. And now I'm going to go and put my home address. And with the zip code, you can just do 30022, and the city and state will automatically fill in. I'm going to remove the home, and now there you are. The next piece is my current position. I'm at Identifies Consulting. That is true. I am the CEO, so I'm going to add that as my position title. And then if you want to add the start date, I think for me, it was September 2011 is when I started the company. Any description here you can add there. I report to myself, fortunately. And then you can add any other details you want in the field. This is right now just you, right? So we're just adding you into the system. You're going to hit save, and now you're in the system. All right. That's one way you can get yourself into the system, or anybody on your team. The other way is by going to their LinkedIn profile and importing them in, but I'll show you that in a little bit. All right. So now we've got our first person in. Let's go back to the settings, and this should be checked off. Bam, you got your first person. Next, they say set up your Creelate portal. So we're going to do that. We're going to go to the portal tab on the left-hand side. We're going to enable this portal. For some of you, it's on no. You're going to hit yes and enable your portal. If you have a message that says your portal has not been enabled yet, contact sales. I want you to go to the help section, reach out to Creelate, let them know that you need your job publishing unlocked, and within 24 hours, they'll have it unlocked for you. Once they have it unlocked, you will enable. And when you enable your job portal, you'll be able to see a lot of preferences there. You're going to be able to customize the look of your portal. What do you want your portal to say? What colors do you want your portal to project? What does your footer look like on your portal, or the header of your portal? We have words on the top of ours. Here's our footer. Okay. And then we have our company homepage. You want to do that so that when somebody there's a link on it that says link to company's homepage. You want it to take you back to your homepage. And then they have different things that allow you to your preferences on how and what you want to happen on your job portal. So all of that is there, and you check that off. That's great. At the very top, once you enable your portal, you'll see your link, jobs.creelate.com/portal/identifies consulting. And that's what we saw earlier. That's what it looks like without it being embedded into my website. And now you have your portal link that you can drive anyone to. As you know, we talked earlier, there's a widget. You put your preferences in, and that's what gets integrated into the website. You can also enable your job board publishing under integrations. We're under settings. Don't get it confused with your hamburger bar and your account preferences. This is integrations under settings, and we're talking about integrations with job boards. When you enable your job board publishing, which I require that you do, then it's going to show you a number of job boards that Creelate has partnered with. So every time you post a job in Creelate, you have the option to go in and to actually, those jobs will show up on all of these job boards free of charge, actually. They're not going to be at the top, I don't imagine, because you're not sponsoring the jobs, but they are on the job boards for free. Indeed, Juju, CareerJet, Glassdoor, whoever, they're there. And so you follow the instructions there. Then if you want to use any premium job boards so that you can use the resume search and integrate those things, then all of that is your connections are actually there. I am going to be honest with you. I would not, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this out loud, but I would not pay for Monster or Career Builder. I just haven't seen a lot of success with them as of in the last couple of years, and even getting people to reply back to resumes. But for your niche market, it may be, so check it out and see. But, you know, there you go. I'll just say that. So now you've got your Creelate portal set up, and then finish signing up for Creelate, which you already have done. So now we are going to go through some of the other things that you need to know in regards to Creelate in order to be able to work it immediately, coming right out of the box. Okay, so I'm going to go through the basic setup, core records, workflows, and activities in 1 second, but I want to show you a couple of other things first, just so you'll know where they are. So if you go under subscription and manage your licenses, however many licenses you have will show up there, and whatever packages you have purchased will show up there. You can also go in and upgrade your packages as you need to. If you're coming and you're working under my program, the D. Williams program, that program, you get a certain amount of things with certain packages. I would talk to a Creelate representative and let them know you're looking for the D. Williams Business Plus program, but you have to do creelate.com/DEE. Now, when you activate text messaging, which we have, text messaging, you can see is here on the side of the screen. When you activate the text message, you have different text messages that can be used. And then when you go in and text people, you do it on the side of the screen here. And that's where you see your text message, not your texts, but your text message showing up throughout the course of the day. Really cool stuff. External resume search, we talked about that here. If you are, or if you want to search Career Builder from within Creelate, if you want to search Resume Library from within Creelate, if you want to search DICE from within Creelate, you will put that integration here to make that happen. The data usage, we don't really talk about. Security, you want to make sure you create your users. We'll get into that a little bit later. You want to make sure you establish your user roles. So if you're in my setup class, we talk about building out your org chart for your internal organization. And some of you have internal recruiters, some of you have external recruiters, like contract recruiters, people you're hiring overseas or whatever the case may be. Those people also have to be in your ATS, but there are user controls that are associated with that. Do you understand? Everybody shouldn't see everything. So this is here where you come in and you create your user roles. Don't make everybody a recruiter. All right, so you would come in and define. What I typically do is say, okay, who are all the people? What type of roles am I using in my company? Well, I know I'm going to hire a recruiter. I know I'm hiring a sourcer. I know I'm going to have an account manager. Maybe I have a lead generation. Maybe I'll make another role, and that role name is credentialer, CREDENTIALER. So this, I know I spelled that wrong. So maybe my credentialer has a role. I'm going to save that. And then maybe I have, I don't know, executive search. I'm just making things up right now. But you take all your roles of people who need to be in Creelate, and then you're going to go in and you're going to start defining how you want to, what type of records you want to give them access to. Do they get access to all the contacts, full access, or maybe some pieces? Do they get to see the salary? Do they get to see the stages being moved? Do they get to see the record status change? This, as a CEO of your company, you are responsible for creating those user levels for your platform, for your ATS. And so it's going to take you a couple of hours to figure it out. But, you want to go ahead and put those in, and then double check the ones if we added them in for you to make sure that the roles have the type of permissions that you want them to have. They ask things like, can people export things out of your ATS? Can they import things? Do they have access to the client portals? And different things like that. My sales team doesn't see the same things that my recruiting team sees. My credentialers don't see the same things that my sales team, and my staff doesn't see everything that I am doing either. So there are roles, permission roles, and layers, and you want to go through each of these to make sure you're setting up the right type of roles for each of your employees. Okay, now, very important. We won't talk about API access, and we won't talk about the advanced security right now. If you have duplicates, people who are duplicated, you can manage all your duplicates there. Anybody who's blocked, you can manage there. Flagged emails, email addresses can become flagged when a recipient unsubscribes or if the email cannot be delivered. Creelate will either warn or block sending when attempting to send emails to a flagged email address. So you can see unsubscribed, hard bounce, all of those are there. That's really cool. Duplicate detection here. This is where you go in and let Creelate know whether or not how you want to detect whether or not a profile that's coming in is a duplicate profile, because you don't want a whole bunch of dupes in, even though you can merge accounts. You don't want a whole bunch of dupes in. So here you can define how you want to do that. I say keep it simple and say email address, because people have the same names and different things like that, but that's totally up to you. And yeah, I'll do that. Naming rules. This is very new. I don't even know. This is very new. And it's okay. I was going to say right there. So what is this? Naming rules. You can be used to keep names. Naming rules can be used to keep names of companies consistent throughout your database and reduce duplicate records. That would make sense. Like, for example, AT&T. You know what I'm saying? People say AT ampersand T with space, without space, you know, all of that stuff, but they may have thousands of different AT&Ts in the company. AT, you know, it's some people say ATT, some people do AT&T, you know, and then, you know, so yeah, anyway, so let's go back to settings because I get sidetracked. Your naming rules. I'll let you work through your naming rules. Now we're getting to the stuff that I feel like are important. So before I get to the super important things, the really super important things, go down to the advanced section for me, if you will, and you click on your regional settings. Make sure based on where you are, you have your currency and stuff like that set up, how you want your dates to be in the system and so forth, month, day, month, and whether you're doing 12 hours or 24 hours. Your resume parser settings are very important. Make sure that they are enabled. Resume parsers, when you're bringing people into the ATS that you are basically importing in. So you make sure you take a look at the settings there. Your resume toolbox is very important. Your resume toolbox allows you to create a copy of the resume and to redact information off of it, to be honest with you. And I don't know if you know what redacting means. Some of you may, some of you not, no disrespect, but that means, like, you know how we want to send a blind copy of a resume to a client? You can actually do that through Creelate. And you can replace it with a redacted copy, and it'll take off the email address, the phone number, last name, street address, so that you can send your submittals directly through Creelate and not have to send an email outside of Creelate. So a lot of people don't know that Creelate can do that, but that's a very great feature to have. Clean metadata. You know, they said remove all metadata from resume. So when you're doing the redaction, instead of them showing the company's information, the information is going to show is contact us for more info, so that you're only showing them the work that the candidate is doing, and you're not showing them who the candidate is for them to take away from you, right? Because we don't want that. Then you have a custom branded header. So this is what goes on the top of the resume that you're sending to the client. I have, please review the following resume and let us know if you'd like to move forward with this amazing candidate. I want that to be a line text. I have my logo here on the outside, which is going to be a line on the left. And then the output of how the file name is going to be saved is the first name, it's a resume, and then redacted. So I know that this is the resume that's actually for a blind copy, redacted, versus being the original resume. Really, really cool. Okay, so this is very important for you to do your settings there. Then your applicant intake settings. So I want y'all to be super careful with this. When this is applicant intake settings. So do you want to have automatic emails replying back to candidates after they apply or when you decline them? I say no. That's me personally. But you can, and we have one set up here. Your application has been received. Thank you for your application for this job. Thanks for taking the time. You should hear from us in several days. Go to our site, okay? Use this for general responses. Thank you so much. Keep shining, whatever. Send failed application message. Like if there's a problem with the applicant email or portal submissions, you can send a message just like, sorry, it didn't work. Contact us for more questions. Auto approve applications. If I didn't want, so I could do this. If I auto approve, that means that I'm never going to see who's in my intake. They'll automatically approve these people in my ATS without me reviewing their resume. I think that's very dangerous, but that option is there for you. And then assign ownership on approval. When an application is approved, then convert that person to the owner. I can keep that enabled. I think that's cool. So I want to make sure that you understand that that exists. I want you to go down and make sure your settings are set up properly. I want you to look at your data export. You can export all your Creelate data out if you want to. Everything, you can export it out and put it into a new applicant tracking system if you want to. Okay, so you can do it every 30 days. They said it's been 251 days since my last export. All right, shared links. If I want to share something, that's my old logo. Then I have my logo settings there. Other is basic organizational settings, my company's name, our time zone, our research URLs. And then I want to talk to you a little bit about a client portal. So most of you all have access to at least one client portal. Creelate provides a client portal, at least with my package, you get a client portal. This is an actual portal that you can assign to your client. So like, for example, one of my staffingpreneurs just got a huge contract, and we want to take all those job orders and put them in one place for the client to see all the jobs that they have and all the candidates that's moving in and out of that process. That's very, very cool. And that's a great sales feature that you can sell on your website, or that you can sell when you're negotiating or when you're closing a deal with your client. So that's really, 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 really big. But a lot of people don't know it exists and they're not utilizing it. I want you to utilize it. Okay. And then you can go in and set your portal up, and we can talk about how to use it specifically later, but that's what you want to do there. Your compliance and GDPR settings, even though every staffingpreneur that is in my community that we build their brands, we require you to have your privacy policies and everything on the bottom of your website. Your GDPR requests are already incorporated into that. So all of these are already incorporated into that. So you don't have to worry about that. You can still turn it on if you want, but you're already covered on the website. So I just want to let you know that. Now, I know y'all saw I skipped over a few things, and I did that for a reason, because I want to show you things that in a specific type of order. We have 2 more sections to go over: the email and customization. That's going to take us about 20 minutes. Before we go over that, I want to stop and share and ask, do you have any questions? Did anything look unfamiliar? I'm eager to know, did you see things in Creelate in this training right now that you didn't even know existed? That you didn't know, that you're so glad that you came here because you see now you have the opportunity to do so much more with your software? Or is everybody on this call, did everybody know all of those things and they're like, get with the good stuff, D? Which one is it?
Well, I don't have Creelate yet. I'm still going through the setup portion, but I did have a demo. And one thing I saw in the demo was the learning management system. I don't know if that's part of your package, where they have a set of videos that will show you how the system works.
Oh yeah, that's what we showed earlier. It's in the help section.
Okay.
Yeah, that's in the help section. That's what we showed earlier. I told y'all that's one place I want you to get familiar with. That orange button in the left-hand corner, that's the help. And you can go in, they'll show you videos, they'll show you step-by-step instructions with text and pictures. If you don't know how to use Creelate, you would definitely know how to use it if you go through from that perspective. So very, very, very easy to use from that perspective. They're giving you a lot of detail. Emma said, I didn't know a lot. She said, and then Stephanie said, being able to separate the client and positions for them to be on the website. I like that too. Yep. Ebony said, I didn't know all of that. I cannot wait to revisit the client portal part. This is going fast. I will go back and watch this. Yeah, you got to go back and watch this because I am moving pretty quickly because we only got 2 hours and Creelate is way more than 2 hours of training. But I want to make sure that you all at the basic level understand how your applicant tracking system works. So as an owner, you can drive your business goals a little bit differently. A lot of people that come to my class or they come to my clinics, the one thing that they say is, I don't know how to use Creelate, or I don't know how to use my ATS, or it seems overwhelming, but everything is very simply created for you so that you can run your business seamlessly. There are a lot of applicant tracking systems out there. I choose this one for you all because it is simple. And you'll be surprised. You work with some of the other ones and they're not as simple. So this is a great system. There are other systems out there for sure, but here in the Academy right now, we support Creelate. That's the ATS that we're using in this moment. And yeah, and it does the job better than a lot of the applicant tracking systems that cost so much more than Creelate does. Denisha said, I wasn't aware of the resume redact feature. Very informative class. Thanks, Denisha. Yeah, that's a very big one. Most people don't know that that even exists. So, all right, now, if you're on YouTube and you're watching, make sure you thumbs up this video. Ask any questions you want. I'm watching the live chat, and I appreciate you being here. If you're watching a replay, we appreciate you too. We love you, and I hope y'all are sweating like me. Getting it in. Okay, so now we are back into the settings section. We are still in the settings section of Creelate. And at this point, I want to go over 2 core sections with you, email and customization. Okay, so let's first start with email. You're probably saying to me, D, we already set our email up and put it in. And yes, we did, but we did it only in a certain way. There's 2 ways to do email, and you want to do both in order for the system to work right. So we're going to talk about what you need to do to make sure that the system is working right. Okay, thanks, Barbara. I see you later in the replay. Bye. So 1, you're going to go to the journaling page and make sure that the status is enabled. If the status is enabled, then you go to the help, and then you reach out to them and let them know that you need your journal enabled. Now, you might be wondering, what is that? Why do I need this, D? Okay, I'm going to tell you why. And we're going to go outside while I tell you why, because this is very important. We got to go outside because I'm standing up and I can't stand up through this whole class. I don't know what you said, though. I just saw, oh, yeah, for sure. But I would love that. Actually. Okay, let's go outside, y'all. Just for a little bit. All right. So, whew, great. That feels so much better. Okay. Let's see. So I can see all your stuff. Okay, perfect. So now let's talk about journaling. So journaling is whenever you send an email out through Creelate, you want that to be connected to your email, like your actual email. And so that whatever you're sending in Creelate shows up in your actual email. And then when they email you back, it shows up in the Creelate. This allows you to be able to keep track of everything in one place. You don't have to log into your Gmail. All you can do is just go right here in your email and everything will be shown there. So you can define what domains you want to be journaled. You can put them in there, and you have to take this information and you put it into your email platform, whether you're using Office or G Suite, and then that'll start happening on the back end. This is something that you absolutely want to do no matter what, okay? Because you don't want to miss that opportunity. Now, when you go into your email here settings, this is all about how Creelate tracks the email so that they'll be able to see who opened up the email, who blocked the email, who da-da-da-da-da-da. like if here you have an email that you send to Identifies Consulting at Creelate will automatically be tracked in Creelate. So you can actually have your inbox, your email box set up in a way, thank you so much. You can have your email box set up in a way to where you have this email address CC'd or BCC. So when you have resumes coming in, they'll automatically track them and within Creelate. So just very important for you to do. Your email templates, this is where organizational email templates. So you have organizational email templates that everybody in the company sees. And then if you go to that hamburger button and manage your profile and preference, remember you have templates. These are your templates that belong only to you. You can share your individual templates by just clicking on that green button, share this template with other users in your organization. But these templates can only be seen by you, not everybody in the company. But when you go into settings and you're in your email templates here, these are ones that everybody in the company can see and have access to. And that's really important for you to be able to make sure you utilize. You can set both of those up to ensure that they come in through that way. Your email campaign. Now, this is where everybody gets funky. I'm gonna just tell you. So remember where I showed you right here, this campaign section? The emails that come through here are different than the emails that we set up in the user and preferences. This is more like their old email marketing system, but it wasn't automated, but it tracks everything. So in order for you to send emails out through campaigns, you have to actually set up that campaign, set it up in here. And it's a little bit of a hassle, but if you ask them for help, they typically will. So basically you just go in and show your details, and literally every step of the way, they have instructions on what you need to do. Here, you're gonna actually bring you're gonna add it to your I wanted to close it out a minute. You're going to add all of this information in from your web hosting provider, GoDaddy, Bluehost, whoever that may be. You're going to add it in there, and that information will go in. This is very important. Again, go to the help section and ask for help if you don't understand. They also have an email campaign setup guide that you can utilize, and I would encourage you to utilize it. And then the final thing on this tab is your submittals tab. Your submittals tab, for some of you, you're going to be submitting resumes to the employer. Hopefully all of you are, but you'll be, oh, wait a minute, the submittals portal will be depreciated. Oh, wow. If you wish to continue using online portals for submittal and reviewing candidates, please select the checkbox for submit via client portal. When, oh, they're getting rid of allow, okay, view submittals. Great. Okay, so I guess they're getting rid of the submittals portal. I don't know. I don't think this is the submittals portal, but this is the templates that you are using when you're sending out, when you're sending a submittal to your hiring manager. If we set up your Creelate, we give you the template already in there, and all you've got to do is edit with each submittal and attach the resume. And we can show you in another class how you go in and attach the resume and create the submittal, but that's very important. And those are all your fields here under email. The final section are your tags under customization. Now, listen, when we set you up, we set up a lot of tags on the back end for you. We set up a lot of tags on the back end for you, but and all of these tags are configured based on something, based on specific things. So your custom form tags, your email template tags, your portal tags, your number of years of experience. Like, I like my Creelate to be very specific, and I like to look for things specifically. So I wrote these out: 1 year of experience, nurse practitioner experience, 1 year benefits, 2 years, 3 years, because I want to search a certain type of way. Application status, how are your application status laid out? So all of these are just your tags. I'm not going to go through these. We set these up on the back end for you, and you can have lots of different tags based on how your business moves. Then you have your document types. Now, people get this kind of confused. They think that this is where you store documents, and it's not where you store documents. it's where you store, it's where you identify what type of document you need to store. That's totally different. It's where you identify what document you need to store. Okay. Now, for example, here you see the job order intake form. You see the license verification, the drug screen result, the job application, the formatted resume, the offer letter, the badge. Everybody should be badged that's going out, the reference check, the proposal, the job application. So these are job types, document types. These are the documents you're going to be adding to your Creelate profile, your candidate's profile, your client's profile. So any type of documents you need here, you see I have 30. Healthcare staffingpreneurs, sometimes y'all don't even have enough space on here because there's so many different types of documents that the employers require you to have that sometimes y'all run out of document types, but hopefully 30 document types is enough to hold you off. And then you have pick lists. Pick lists are, I don't know how to describe pick lists, but they're basically fields that you use that you get to pick from throughout different parts of Creelate. You can manage what those fields are. We go in and build all of these for you. It is a very time-consuming process, but we go in and create different pick list sets for you, like travel requirements, vehicle requirements, method of contact, relationship to candidate, mandatory job requirements, language fluency. So we go in and we fill a lot of those out, and those are custom ones. But then they'll also have their own pick list. Sometimes, we typically add like the sources like Clubhouse, Crunchbase. So, you're going to go through and add all your pick lists as you need to. And then this is my final and most favorite place on the end of this. And this is the custom forms. This is where all your applications live. Okay. We have lots of different applications based on the different types of positions that we're filling. But all the applications that you have, you're going to actually create those applications and put them here. You hit the plus sign and you can design them. Or if we set you up, we actually set up a whole application for you. I don't know where that one is, but candidate. This is one. No, that's my intro app. So, and then, that shows up out here. So that defines what people see here, the application right here. The best one I can show you, I feel like Latasha, she does a great job with her applications. So I'm going to show you hers. And then you'll see how she has her applications. So if you go to her job seekers, that's job search. I should have did it there. Okay. So now she's using Creelate. She just has the integration that looks a little bit differently. As you can see, it's still Creelate her portal. And if you hit apply now, this is her application. So she's taking all of this information for her nurses to make the process flow so much easier. Really, 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 really cool. Right. So I wanted to show you how that looks. And then you have these activity forms. And we create some of these activity forms for you, but these activity forms are very specific. You can use these to integrate into a lot of things into Creelate. So for example, I'm going to show you the best way. Let's say I'm interviewing, or I want everybody on my staff to interview a certain type of way. These are activities. These represent different activities you're going to do in your staffing business. Let's say that I want to conduct a 15-minute phone screening with someone. I'm going to click on that 15-minute phone screening, but I can click on an activity sheet and then I can do interview questions. And now I have all my interview questions here. Everybody in the company can have interview questions, the same interview questions. We can all be compliant all in one. And you can manage and maintain a certain level of excellence with your clients and your recruiting and hiring process, knowing that all of those things are being presented right there all in one fell swoop is very, very, very cool. Denisha said, oh, wow, but it is serious. So now I can be on the phone. I can be on this end watching. I don't have a resume here, but I could be looking at the resume here, taking my notes and doing my interview here. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, going through everything with my candidate. This is really cool. So, yeah, so that's very important. And I'm sorry, going to settings. So those are your activity forms. And when you press the green button, it creates, you can go in and create the form. Or like I said, if we do your setup for you, then we'll add those in for you. And then whatever questions you create here, they'll just show up down here. And then you'll be able to track them, you know, for whatever purposes or what have you. So those are our custom forms. And this is one of the things that I love a lot. I mean, a lot. You're welcome, Shar. I'm glad you're in the setup class. And this will be very, very helpful for you as you continue to go. The last thing I want to show you, we do this in a setup. If you do not have a setup, your Creelate, you're going to have to do this on your own. But when we do it, we set it up for you. And that's adding your activities. These are the different activities that you're going to do in your staffing business that need to be tracked. Also creating your workflows, your sales workflow, what that looks like, your recruiting workflow. Ooh, better not be nothing back there. Your recruiting workflow and what this looks like. And then your employment search. But then you also want to go in and create all your settings on the back end of how things are being read, how it's receiving things. You got to, and we do a lot of customization back here on the back end to make sure that your Creelate is up and running properly. Okay. So those are things that you're going to also want to set up on the back end yourself if we are not building out your Creelate account for you. Now, the next thing we're going to do is to actually go in and start doing a few small things, because we actually have like 30, 40 more minutes. So we're going to go in and do things that I feel like you're going to utilize in Creelate all the time in your business, because now we understand how to actually set it up and how to get the back going, operating, running. How do y'all feel about that? Because now y'all are about to be pros. You do know that. Y'all are about to be serious pros with Creelate. Okay, this is a serious thing. All right. Now let's get into some good stuff. Here we go. All right. Creelate. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the home. And one of the first things that people do is they say, okay, how do I post the job, D? Because I showed you how to put a person in. But oh, I forgot to tell you one more thing. When you get a chance, I want you to open up a new tab, and I want you to go to Google and type in Creelate, Creelate, Chrome, CH extension. And you got to be in Chrome in order to do this, but you're going to do your Creelate Chrome extension. And then you're going to look for Creelate Talent Chrome extension. And then you're going to add that extension onto your Chrome. It's very important so you can go into LinkedIn and pull people out of LinkedIn. Once you add them on Chrome, you're going to go to the very top of your search bar in Chrome, and you're going to click on that puzzle piece that's up there. And then you're going to go and pin Creelate onto your search bar right here. You're going to pin Creelate on there, which you see mine is pinned. And that way the icon shows up at the top. This is very, very, very important. Most people don't know to do that. You want to do that. That is so important. And once you do that and you download it, then you'll be able to log into your Creelate and you'll be able to add people in from LinkedIn directly. Very, very cool stuff. Okay. So now, take it down. All right. Let's close some of this stuff out because I want to keep everything nice, neat, and clean. Okay, so, oh yeah, I'm starting all types of trouble over here. So now we're in there, and the first thing we want to do after you should now have at least one, if not two people in your Creelate database, right? You want to have somebody in there that you can play with. I like to put myself in there, but you want to have somebody you can play with. This is a profile for a person that is being imported into Creelate, whether it's a candidate or a client or a vendor, it doesn't matter. They all go in as a great person. And you can go in and edit the company they work in, their title, their phone number, and their email, right? You can do that. You can go in here and edit their profile if you want, and that will reflect. I just wanted to share that. And here at the top, the drop down tells you what type of record this is. What type of person am I dealing with? Am I dealing with a hiring manager? Am I dealing with an employee? Am I dealing with a client? Or am I dealing with a sales lead? That's what that tells you right there. Now, as I mentioned earlier in your summary, all of these are activities, and activities are created or defined based on the role. So the way we have your Creelate set up, if we build it, your notes and your task and your emails are always going to be there no matter what position title that you're in. But all of these other activities from here to here are literally sales activities, things that my sales team are going to do in order to generate new business in the company. Then after that, then the purple you see, that's for my recruiting team. So they see these activities, my sales team sees these activities, and then you don't have this full drop down. I only see all of this because I'm looking at all of the roles, and I'm not broken down as one individual role. So I want to make sure you understand that there. The activities, let's say I want to make a 15-minute phone call with a candidate. I'm going to do 15-minute phone screening. What do you mean I logged out? How you logged me out? I was in my groove. I mean, super in my groove. Okay. So I'm back in. Okay. So what was I doing? I am going in and I'm doing a 15-minute phone screening. So again, if I'm doing my 15-minute phone screening, I'm going to move my screen up here. I am going to go into my questions, add my questions down right there. And now I can sit down and talk about my phone screening. When I'm done, the fortune is in the follow-up. I hit my follow-up on there when I want to reach out to them. I'll stay next week at 5:30 p.m. And yeah, start putting my stuff in. So talk to the candidate, Oh, is now a good time to talk? Yes, great. Can I put you, if no, can I put you on my calendar? If yes, I have a few questions to ask. But before I do that, let me tell you a little bit about my company. Here at such and such, we solely focus on What specific locations are you interested in working? Oh, great. How much do you need to make in order to, okay? So all of those things are there for you. So you're talking and you finish your interview. Once you're done your interview, then you're going to come over and or not when you're done your interview, but while you're talking to them as a part of your pipeline under your interview, you want to try to fill out some of the tags that are over here. So like, what industry are they in? Are they in healthcare? I'm just saying health and wellness. How would I rate them based on the conversation that I had? She's always going to be an A+, y'all, like always. What preferred locations. So I love Oakland, California, which you see is not in here. So I'm adding it, and I hit the return key to hold it in. Of course, I love home, Atlanta, and I would say Miami. I'm just making something up. Okay. So those are my preferred locations. And then in my employment status, I'm actively looking for work. Then you can put my skills and certifications. Let's say I got a CCISP and I'm a CCRN and I got my BSN. And then we have our application status. Okay. These are all the things that I have included with my application. So that's all that is. And then that's added there. If you don't have those things, you can just hit it once and hit remove. And this will show you or keep you abreast of who you have in the system at what part of the journey and how many more things that people need in order for you to successfully submit them to an employer and the employer to accept the resume that was being submitted. I hope that made sense. You know, very, very, very important, super important. No, I don't have a CISSP for real, but I've recruited for a lot of people who have one, but no, I don't have a CISSP. I love technology, but I'm not into it. And that, I like the build. I like product development. I like developing the products, allowing people to experience it, and finding different ways to enhance the product. I love that. But no, no. I'm studying that. That's what I was gonna say. Help, girl, please. If I was doing that, I'd be doing something different. But you know who could probably help you? And she was one of my staffpreneurs, Renee Small. I don't know if she has a CISSP, but she definitely does cybersecurity. Baxter Cluis Boyd, he does cybersecurity too. So there are a number of staffpreneurs in here that are in the cybersecurity space. So always definitely reach out. The application status you want to go in, and we already added those. So I'm going to just put on here, we got my resume, which we don't even have that, but let's say we got my resume. Then how many years of experience does this person have? You know, I told y'all I put these in here. I want to be able to see how many years of experience they have. And then the next is the file status. And the file status is very interesting because it really kind of tells you where a person is in the process. Are they in process, meaning we're going through the hiring process with them to ultimately get them hired? Or is it do not use, DNU, do not call this person, do not use this person, do not. Or has this person completed the hiring process and we're now just waiting to get them on the payroll? And have they completed with a payroll file, meaning they're now set up in payroll as well? And so when you start working in your business, you're going to be able to see how many people are in process. You'll be able to hold your credentialer accountable for not getting people processed faster. It's a lot of different things that's happening on that end with that. And yeah, and that was my person. So that's my, I mean, let me look and see if my timeline is, nope. I don't have any sequencing. That's perfect. So that is what your profile looks like once you upload someone in. Once you upload someone in the Creelate, this is what your profile looks like. So now what you want to do is to go in and create your first opportunity. Now, most of you are going to say, I don't know. I don't want to post my job because I don't have any, I don't have the contract with the client just yet, or I don't have any openings right now. That's rubbish. Your job is to get to know every person in your niche market. Your job is to become the king and queen of figuring out how to hire a specific person, a type of people, a specific type of talent. So you should have many job openings open for the types of people that you want to hire in many different locations. And you should be pipelining those people and having conversations with them and building relationships with them. Those are the people that you're posting and that are going to find your job and apply back. And then you're also going to have the people that you're going to be reaching out to. But all of them essentially, you know, you've got to, so yeah, I think y'all know where I'm going with that. So here we have opportunities, because we only got a little bit more time here. And here you're going to create all your opportunities. When you're first getting started with your staffing business, it's really important that you post your internal jobs and the jobs that you are pipelining. So you might be saying, well, what does that mean, Dee? Okay, so your internal jobs, when you go through your org chart, your administrative assistant that you know you're going to need, your recruiter, you know you're going to need to hire a recruiter at some point, a salesperson, you know you're going to need to hire a salesperson at some point, a marketing person, a social media person, whatever it is, whatever those job openings are, you're going to post those job openings so that you're always getting a flow of candidates in until you're ready to actually fill that role. If you're an amazing CEO, once a week, you'll spend a couple of hours going through all of those positions, calling people, scheduling interviews, and consistently building great relationships with talent. Because if your company does not have great talent, and I'm not just talking about the talent that you are placing, I'm talking about within your organization as a whole. If your company doesn't have great talents, If you're not hiring great talent, your doors are not going to stay open for long, you know, when you're ready to start hiring. So you've got to hire people that are not your family, and you can't hire people because they need a job, right? You have to hire people who can actually do the job and do it with a sense of excellence. And I think that's what's very important. Okay. So when you're ready to post your jobs, you're going to go. So two things you're going to do. If it's a lead, so if it's an internal job, you're going to go new internal job opening. And that's what how you're going to open up your new internal job. You know, you're going to put all your internal and your pipeline jobs under internal jobs, because you're never, those are jobs that you're pipelining. So you're going to put them under internal jobs, and you're going to keep them open 365 days a year. You might refresh the job description to and edit it to get it to work to a point where people are constantly applying. But these are the positions you're going to keep open all the time, and you're constantly recruiting from that space. So keep that in mind. Now, when, let's say, here's a new one. Let's say that somebody is a lead and you've talked to them. Let's say you met them at a law firm and they was like, man, oh my gosh, I need you to help me fill this position or whatever, but you don't have the contract yet. You can put them in as a lead for the type of position you think it's going to be. And then they will end up showing up here under the sales tab under leads. Okay. And so that's definitely doable, right? So yes. So, okay, so there you go. So that's new in the lead. One more thing I would say, that these leads and job orders and all of that are based on like different areas of where you are working in your business. So like my healthcare staffingpreneurs, we set them up to do contract to hire, direct hire, executive search, travel, and per diem. So, but in this ATS, it's only a few things. And so you can set them up based on, if you want us to do it, we can do it, or you can do it, but you can set it up based on how many types of positions or service lines you're going to offer. We can set that up and do it from there. So always keep that in mind. Go to new lead and then the type of lead, or new, and then just do a search there. All internal job openings should be here. And so creating that job order. Now, when you're going and doing your new internal job order, you're going to assign this position as unfilled because you haven't filled it yet. The priority to me, it should always be hot or medium, but I'll leave that up to you. And then the job title, then you put your job title in. Senior social, I'm making something up. Social media manager, right? And now it's going to create that for you. And then you kind of go through and it'll create the job for you. Once the job is created for you, your profile is going to look like this. You're going to go to publish. Then you're going to edit the details, make sure everything's okay. Publish to all 14 job boards. Then you can post now to, like I like ZipRecruiter's traffic boost, because it's for $300, they get you just like a ton of clicks, but that only works depending on your niche. So be careful with that. And then, yeah, you can search on your social media. Then you've got when it was posted. You've got what external email address is the person that you can send resumes to. So this email address right here is for you to actually give to a candidate if you want them to email their resume in, and that resume will come directly up under this job. Same way for the external job link and directly to the application form. I clicked that copy button and it took them directly to the job. And here I could click this button and it took them directly to the application. That is my application. That was pretty intense. Okay, so very important. And let me just make sure. And then here you can see like where your candidates came from. As you can see, we get a lot of candidates from Indeed and ZipRecruiter, but we get a decent amount from the portal for this job. and then you can see when the peak of this, when his role really hit its peak, and when it's kind of da 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 da. So really, really, really cool. Lots of information. Anything you see here is just your basic information about the job. And so any activity you do with any candidate, it's going to always show up here in the body of the job, so that you can maintain structure and know who's doing what in a job at any given time. But that's how you open up a job order. Then you go publish it, and then you're in great spaces, right? You publish it, you're in great spaces. I go to the edit details so you can see. So high performing appointment setters. Here's my job description, and my salary was at the bottom. And then we hit next. And then you're going to put their industry. You're going to put any tags you want them to be able to find you under. And then you're going to decide whether it's remote or not, how you want it to show on the portal, show, featured, or hidden. And basically, that's it. You're going to hit publish. And now it's going to be published on your careers page. Then you can save. It's posted to 14 different job boards. And then you can see right here, you can sponsor it and so forth, and close it out. So now you have learned how to also create a job order, okay? And once you create that job order, candidates are then going to apply. They're going to end up in your intake, and you're going to approve and reject resumes as they come in. When you approve or reject them, they're actually going to go into the actual job that we have open, and you'll be able to see them in that pipeline from there. What questions do you all have for me? I'm really just getting started, but I want to make sure you don't have any questions, or I'm moving kind of fast.
Yeah. So you don't have to have a client to post the jobs?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, because think about it, you got to post your own jobs too. And your product is people. So if you don't have people and you're talking to clients, you're really false advertising.
Gotcha. Okay.
A lot of people don't know that. They think I should get the client first and then the candidate. But think about that. When you go and get your food, when you go order stuff at the store, you pay and then you get your food. They don't give you the food and then say pay, unless you're going to a restaurant. Then that's the case. But even when you go into McDonald's or wherever, like, you have to pay first typically in order for something to happen. But they still have the food there. The product is still there, ready for you to consume, to buy, to take home. We have to do the same thing. We should be spending all our days and our hours, our waking days and our hours, building relationships with candidates, because right now there's a talent shortage in most environments. And if it's a talent shortage for the client, it's going to be a talent shortage for you too. Just because you have a staffing agency doesn't mean that you're not going to experience the same talent shortage. So your job is to figure out how to get as many of these people as you possibly can. What's the best way or ways to do that, and to have strong relationships to the point where they start to refer other people to you as well, and different things like that, so that you can be the one with the pipeline that's banging. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be the one with the pipeline. But if you don't have any candidates and you going in and you talking to clients about staffing, a lot of those clients get upset with staffing agencies that say they have people, but they really don't. You know, and then it gives them a bad taste. But I want you to be proud of the candidates that you have. I want you to get on the phone every day, and I want you to schedule appointments, and I want you to talk to candidates. I want you to learn about them. I want you to be genuinely interested in the work that they're doing and building that relationship, because that relationship is so valuable. Even if you don't place them in the next 3 years. I got somebody I placed like 12 years after I met him. Oh. Yes. But he was like, we finally got it done. So it doesn't have to, some relationships are seeds that are being planted for later when you least expect it. So your job is to build the relationship with the candidate, make it meaningful. And then I promise you, all doors will open up immediately for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good question. Any more questions? Great questions. Y'all are on fire today with these amazing questions. I'm so proud of you. Okay, we got 15 minutes. I'm going to keep going. We got 15 minutes. Any questions? If you are on YouTube, hit that like button and hit that like button. If you are on YouTube, hit that like button. If you feel like this is valuable, this is really, really, really good stuff, actually. Stuff that I typically don't share out in public. But I want more of you all are not doing things properly. And a lot of these government organizations are coming down, they're auditing staffing agencies. And a lot of my clients are coming to me in fear of that because they're not fully set up. They got set up during COVID and they just like, I don't need that. And now things are crashing on them. And so I really want to support people and help them to really, really get their business up and running like a real boss, like a boss. Okay. All right. What did I want to show you? What else do I want to show you? I got 15 minutes. Let's see what else I can show you. Okay. So when you are, so if I am running my business on a daily basis, and let's say I've got 2 people or 1 person in the business, my sales team are going to come in here. We set this process up for you so that you can always know where you are in your process and where you want to go. So this is our sales process. I'm in the sales tab on the home page. So the first thing I do when I get up in the morning, I'm telling you what you should do. If you're a recruiter, you should be going through that intake and clearing out resumes. That should be the first thing that you do. And then go through your tasks and events and see who you've missed and who you need to contact those people, and then start either in your sales and or your recruiting tab. Every day you should be doing sales and every day you should be doing recruiting, and that's non-negotiable. It's not 3 days a week do sales and 2 days a week do recruiting, or 2 days a week doing sales and 3 days a week doing, no. It is recruiting has to be done every day, sales has to be done every day, period. Okay, so if that's the case, you want to create your schedule around those tasks. And there's a process to do that. So in the sales process, we have broken down this process in different phases. And as you talk to new leads, they're going to be in different phases of this process. Okay. And so when you are talking to people and you're moving them around in and out of your ATS, look how cool this is, y'all. You just drag your person's box down to wherever they are in the process. I think this is so cool. So right now, this said that this client is a sales email reach out, but now I want to call the client. I'm going to just move them down to sales call made. I reached out. I actually engaged with them. I am scheduling a follow-up for next week. And let's get okay. And then I'm going to hit finish. And then it's going to move my candidate there. Or I could have just dragged them, because the next thing is I'm going to go visit them in person. So I could drag them. Ooh, where'd I go? Down here to cold sales visit. And I engaged with them. And now we're there. So the cool thing about Creelate is that you can actually drag things all around the dashboard. That's dope. And as you're doing that and you're highlighting different types of your different client accounts, you can see on the right-hand side who it is, what the potential value is, what's the probability of you closing this, what have you completed in this process, what stage, activities that you can actually kind of use there. And then it'll show you all the activity that has been generated on this particular account. So that's really important. And that's kind of what I want to show. Oh, one more thing I want to show you. On the outside here, you can see the company name. You can see the activity was done on each company. You can see the date, the last activity date. And then you can see how much the contract is worth and what's the probability of that contract closing. So this is what you see on the sales side, and we set all of these processes up for you. But if you're a recruiter or you're working on the recruiting side, it's going to be a little bit different. First of all, when you go in to a job, let's just say, I'm going to go into the appointment setter. As you can see, this job has been published. It's in the one contract, no job orders yet, but it has been published. We have 132 applicants, 24 or 240, I don't know what that number is pending. 246 pending applications. And then you can see where people are in the process. I passed on 107 people. So let's open this up. I could literally go in and highlight all of these people. I just took my hand on my mouse and then I dragged these people up, and I could go in, I can't do it now, but I could go in and email them all in one fell swoop. It's not going to let me do that because those people hadn't been accepted. But these people have been accepted because they're in the follow-up phase. As you can see, 9 selected great people. I can go in, I can submit them all, I can change their status, I can remove them from the job, I can edit them, I can unchange the record type. I can just do whatever, you know, you can do a lot of things. But what I really want you to see is that you can send a bulk text from here. So you can send all of those people a text message, and you can use one of the templates that you've created, and then it'll send, hey, Lynn, hey, Wesley, hey, Teray, hey, Shanri, hey, Ike. So it looks like it's somebody did 1,000 individual emails, when in all actuality, you sent one great email and look what you got out of it. So cool. So cool. So cool. Okay. So very, very, very important that you can do that. You can also send a bulk email. So you can send the same email to a lot of people. You can use a template that's already been created. On the left-hand side are tags here. Those tags are designed to help you to understand what templates are in what locations. And then you can take that tag, that template, hit OK, and then it will literally populate all of there for you. Okay. And then we just save our tags and so forth. I'm not going to send that, but I wanted you to see that you have control to do bulk things. Very, very, very important. Okay. If I was to open up my candidate, you can see all the activity there, but you can also see that my person didn't put their file status, right? So that file status will be in process, and I'm gonna hit the save button, not their application. Like nothing was filled out the way it was supposed to be. I can see that now. But that's a whole nother thing. Okay. On the right-hand side of your profile, you have where all your documents are stored. Remember I told y'all you had document types. This is where those documents are stored. So the application is actually there. That's the application that you created. And then we had questions that we asked everyone to fill out. So they filled out questions, how many years of experience, and we got to see what that was there. And then I just want to show you that here, this is the resume, but we had to document it as the resume. The system actually automatically does it immediately, but we have to make sure that that's what that is. It's a resume. But it's very important that you tag every document that you have in the system. So every time you have a document coming in the system, you need to make sure that you add the document type, because when you're ready to do your submittals, it'll automatically send the document on there versus you having to go in there and say this document is for this. It'll automatically do it for you. So that's very important to remember. This is a form of automation that has been created for you to make things a lot easier. Okay, so that was very important. Let me see what else that I want to show you. We talked about the activities. We talked about that. Yeah, I think we did good. So now I'm working. I'm going to my intake. I'm approving, declining resumes. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to recruit on my role. I'm going to start looking at the resumes, approving and rejecting them, calling them, emailing, scheduling appointments, and getting them. This is email reach out. So now all of these should be candidate follow-up, and then they should go further down. So this is really important when you're working with your profile. I showed you how to drag and drop things, which you absolutely need to know how to do. And how to read the boxes on the outside, so you don't have to open the whole box up on the inside to know how to manage your platform. It is your platform. It is your platform. Okay. So I showed you how to text in bulk. I showed you how to text in bulk, but let me show you one more thing. When you send single emails, you're going to send it through here. When you send text bulk, you're going to drag it to all the people you want to send it to, and then you're going to send that bulk text. But from here, you send it through this light blue email. Very, very, very important. And listen, this can be a really easy process, believe it or not. You open it up and you review the resume, and I don't know what role this is, appointment setter. So I can already tell she's not my appointment setter. So I'm going to reject. I did not engage with her. Finish. Okay. And then you click on the next person. And this person has answered their questions. No, do you have? Yes, yes, yes. Da, 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 da. Then I go to their resume, and now I can see their responses and their resume. So that's pretty cool. And then I can decide at that point how I want to move forward. But I can tell you, reject. Okay. So just like that. So you're going through that, you're screening candidates. And then when it's time to work with the clients, then you can go integrate people. You can upload list of people in. Once you get them in, you can automatically get them in through Zapier and LinkedIn. But once you get them in there, then your job is to get them through the sales process and try to make them a client, and kind of move from there. What questions do you all have? This was a very light overview of Creelate, but a full overview of what is possible and what you can do. They have made some updates and some changes, but I believe that those are going to be even better for your business as you move up. How do y'all feel about that? How did y'all feel about today's training? Was it helpful to everyone? I hope it was helpful. I would go back through the replay and on YouTube, rip it apart and just go piece by piece and start really getting to know your Creelate even more intimately. And then when you all come to class, then we have you share your screen, and then we can share it even more intimately at that point as well. And for you to really get your hands dirty in it. But right now, if you can get the basics down, you'll be in a great space. Ebony said this was definitely helpful. Stephanie said great, very informative. Denisha said awesome class. I love y'all. I appreciate you all. Your replay is on YouTube, but I'll also have Devontae send it out to you all. If y'all don't have any questions, we're going to close out today. Any questions? Okay, I think I did good. All right, well, thank you so much for everyone for attending. Again, if you're on YouTube, like this video and leave a comment and let me know if you felt like this video was helpful. But my staffingpreneurs, I appreciate y'all showing up for yourselves, much less me. For you, anybody watching the replay, thank you for being here. Don't forget, we have a live class coming up in LA. Our launch land and leverage boot camp is coming up. We also have a free class coming up for how to create a course for your staffing business. That's coming up in August. We have a lot of different things going on. I want to see you all a part of it. Denisha, thank you so much for your compliments. She said, awesome class. I will see my staffingpreneurs in class on Monday. But everybody else, I want y'all to have an absolutely phenomenal weekend. And